autumn. It's my favorite time of the year, and I've said it a number of times before, it is absolutely beautiful to photograph in the autumn colours. This time last year I was in America and I was surrounded by beautiful colours, but today we're in Killarney. We're in Killarney National Park. We're in a place called Derrycunnihy, and it is a place I've visited before. It's stunning. There's a sequence of cascades. Don't know if there's going to be much water on it, but it's still going to be beautiful because there's a woodland next to it as well, which I think is going to look stunning in the autumn colours, the nice diffused light that we have here, and hopefully we're going to get some beautiful shots. So come on, let's go. We'll go explore here and we'll see exactly what we can find today in this beautiful spot.
Seen the movie Frozen? Well, all of the trolls are all in here. Have a look.
We've arrived now at the location that I wanted to shoot today, and the colours around me, there are some nice parts of the colour. It's not in full bloom yet, but you can see aspects in regards to the bracken that's, you know, kind of going a browny orange colour. Are a bit of leaves as well that are starting to turn in colour, and there's a couple of nice little specifics as well that I'm seeing close enough here to the water that's on my right hand side, your left hand side. So today is all about waterfalls and woodland, or woodland and waterfalls, whichever it may be, but I'm going to do a couple of things. One, I'm going to take a couple of shots of the huge waterfall that's here in front of me. Like I said earlier, it's called Derrycunnihy, and there's some lovely trees that are around that as well. And then on this side here we have an old forest. It's an ancient forest. I have photographed here before, probably around about 2 years ago, I would say. If you haven't seen that episode, I'll link to that here now. But it's a beautiful woodland. It's covered in moss, and like I said earlier, with the autumn colours now, it should be really, really nice. I'm going to get set up in the first shot that I want to photograph here. There's a bit of a small cascade, but there's a nice bit of colour as well on the top end of that. So hopefully I can get that shot that will turn out the way I want it to be. So we'll check back in here again in a moment. Taking my first exposure here. It's proving quite difficult now at the moment because the sun has come out, there's a gap in the clouds, so the whole blanket of flat light that I would have had earlier is now proved more challenging, and just as I wanted to take the shot. But still think it's going to work out nicely because with the sun now coming out, it's backlighting the leaves that I have here in front of me. And what I'm doing here is taking a portrait orientated photograph. I've got the trees, the leaves either side, and looking through that you've got one of these cascades, and then on the far end of the cascade you can see a bit of the orange from the bracken that's starting to change in the autumn colours. Below me here now as well, there's some lovely moss on these rocks, so I'm going to take this shot now and then I'm going to come back probably to around about here, change the orientation to landscape orientation and take a very similar shot but with a bit of a foreground interest then as well in regards to that. So I'll give you a look at the portrait shot I'm taking here, and once I've taken that I'll pop that shot up as well, and you can have a look at both types of shot from the same spot. I've come down now to the edge here, get as close as I can to the cascades that are coming down from the main waterfalls above. And I'm looking at the water coming out the left hand side of the frame and framing the shot, really nothing with the sky but just trying to capture the scene that I have here in front of me. My settings at the moment, actually, I put on my lead little stopper and I also have my polarizer on. That's allowing me to get, it's around a 5-second exposure that I'm doing at the moment. Now ordinarily I wouldn't go for a 5-second exposure, but the clouds are dark there now, so I want to make sure that I'm getting a bright enough exposure. But with that 5 seconds as well, it does give a nice flow of the water coming through the frame as well itself. So I'll show you this image here, and now we're going to go to the next step here of this, which is in the woodland, and I'm looking forward now to going exploring there because I should find some nice compositions there also. Up in the woodlands now, and like every woodland really, it's very difficult to be able to find a photograph in all the chaos that you find not only on the floor but also within the trees themselves. As you can see here, I'm photographing something that I wouldn't really normally photograph, but I do like it. I do like the way the twisted wood kind of interrupts the whole scene of the woodland kind of disappearing in the background. So I've taken a shot here at f4. I'm using my 16-35, so the widest it goes is f4, but the reason I'm taking it f4 is because I want to be able to have bokeh in the background, so this will be sharp and everything else should fall off then into the background of the image as well. And looking at the settings here at f4, I'm shooting at 1/80th of a second, my ISO is at 100, and I'm focusing on the log. Pretty straightforward really, but looking in the back of the camera here, it looks like it'll be a nice shot. We'll go explore a bit more now. I don't know if I'm going to be able to find much, even though I'm in a beautiful area. There's a huge amount of chaos and there's not that much colour as well. I was hoping there was going to be a lot more colour sprinkled around, but there's not that much colour just yet. But I'll show you this shot now and we'll continue to go exploring thereafter. I'm really struggling today to find something that's going to really catch my eye and make a nice photograph. Like I said in the last location there, even though this place is absolutely beautiful, it can always be difficult to find separation within your images. And I've come across something here. Now, there's some old dead wood that are lying against a rock, and this entire rock is covered by moss, and then you've got a small bit of a holly bush that's growing out of the rock. I have the image now composed that I have these two pieces of branches that are there, and then effectively this looks like a mountain to a certain extent. That's what I'm aiming for anyway. I don't know if it's going to be that in the end, but that's what I'm aiming for. And my settings at the moment are f11. I've got my polarizer on and I'm shooting at half a second, and ISO is at 100. I think it'll be a nice shot. It's not again going to be something amazing, but very, very difficult today. I would have hoped that there would have been a bit more colour to play with. There's not that much to play with, but still always good to get out, good to get some nice photographs there earlier in regards to the waterfall, and good of course to explore here in this beautiful ancient woodland here in Killarney National Park. So I'm going to sign out from this episode. I would really do hope you've enjoyed the content. If it's your first time on the channel, I would really appreciate hit that subscribe button, give the video a like and leave me a comment below. Be it good or bad, just let me know that you're watching, because I love talking about everybody who watches these videos. And until the next time, slán go fóill.
Serious.